What's going on, CDL world? New drivers, new drivers, new drivers. Uh, so you just got your CDL and you're looking for a company pre-hire through whatever company came to your school, right? So you're all excited. You get to a company you pick and you get there, you go through their orientation, and the next step is to give you a trainer. So I'm gonna go over some stuff what you should look for because you're new to the industry, right? So your trainer, which you all know is gonna be the person, woman, or man that's responsible for getting you trained and comfortable with that truck before you become a solo driver, right? That's the whole purpose of training. That's why they don't teach you certain things in CDL school because you will learn the rest of the stuff at the company you choose to drive for, right? So, yes, I'm smoking a cigarette. I'm trying to make myself sleepy and this ain't happening. So you go through orientation. They tell you, okay, your trainer is on the way. They're gonna pick you up. The first time you meet your trainer, it should be a professional meet and greet. They should, hey, how you doing? My name is blah blah blah. I'm gonna be your trainer for the next 3 weeks or 4 weeks. He or she should already be letting you know what's gonna be taking place. And you get some trainers that see the student and hey, I'll be right back, and they leave and go inside versus introducing themselves. And, hey, let this person get comfortable with me. I don't know this person. I go through students every week or every 3 weeks. So the introduction to the trainer, that's a big plus. Second thing you need to learn and look for is, do they get irritated when you start asking questions? You're excited. You're gonna have a lot of questions to ask. A good trainer would say, "Hey, look, I'm gonna take care of you. If you have any questions, just let me know. Far as for now, here's what we're about to do, okay? Because some people like to ask questions after question after question. Don't have anything to do with trucking. Sometimes you ask questions that you're not there yet to ask that question, if that makes any sense. Don't ask your driver about driving in Wyoming when your company really probably don't even go to Wyoming. Ask questions that relate to the training. You know. Mm. So if he or she not irritated when you're asking questions, most likely that's going to be a great trainer. That means they're going to have a lot of patience with you, in which all trainers should have great patience with new drivers because they're new. When you get on the truck for the first time, is that truck clean? Or do he got spit cans, tobacco spit bottles all over the place? Is the dashboard clean? The dashboard can tell you a lot about your trainer. And the DOT, the scale houses, if they see a truck coming through the scale and the dashboard has got paper all over the place, that pretty much tells them that that driver is unorganized. Let's pull him in for an inspection because he probably don't have his stuff together. So the cleanliness of his or her truck, that should tell you a lot. Are they rude when they tell you to put your stuff back there and get up there? That's where you're gonna be sleeping. Or hey, this is my rack down here. You can put your stuff up there. That's where you'll be sleeping. How are they talking to you? You know, they should take the time to go over the paperwork that you received at orientation, the checklist. Like, okay, here's what we got to do, or what the trainers have is a checklist. So they should go over that paperwork with you and say, hey, I got to have you do at least 15 backs and straight backs and 45 backs and 90-degree backs, and you got to do this many drive hours and all. And when everything goes smooth, I sign off on your stuff. You get some trainers, student get on the truck, they just start driving. They don't even talk about trucking, the ins and outs of trucking. You know, that's what makes a great trainer. If you're fully engaged with the student from day one, you know, too many times I see new people that they graduated off a truck, but they lack certain skills that should be basic. Because you got some trainers that just take the student because they're getting paid for the student miles and the miles that they drive. So they're just in it for the money, in which anything you do as far as work should be for the money. But at the same time, if you take on the title to be a trainer, you should take that job seriously and just look at it as beyond, because you're not just gaining money from having a student on the truck. You're about to send this student out with a vehicle, 80,000 pounds max, fully loaded, that could possibly kill somebody. So take your time with these students. So students, y'all need to look at that stuff. When you pull into a truck stop for the first time, they should be like, hey, that's the scale over there. Right now, what we got don't need to be scaled, but since we got time, I'm gonna go scale it out for you anyway to show you how to use the scale house. They should be wanting you to be hands-on probably day 2. Day 1 is more just so looking, okay? Just watching and observing. You know, you go to sleep, you wake up, you drive. And then day 2, you kind of get physical with the stuff. On day 2, they should be teaching you how to work the scales, how to get fuel from the fuel pump, how to slide the tandems. Day 2 should be full hands-on with everything. Your first delivery on day 2 should be you doing the backing or you doing the backing to get loaded. You should be handling all the paperwork. A lot of that stuff comes with repetition, because some trainers do all the work. Student don't get to do anything. Why? Because they show in a rush to get to the next stop and get you off that truck. They don't have time to actually train and teach you the right way. So it's just the name of the game. All trainers are not bad, and I know there are some bad ones out there based on the students that I have met. And being an experienced driver, we can look and see if you're new to the game or not. So, and it's not your fault, it's the trainer's fault for signing off and getting you off that truck. So yeah, just introduction, the cleanliness of his truck, what y'all talk about on day 1. Day 2, are you hands-on already? Are you messing with the Qualcomm? I mean, are you dealing with the shipper and the receiver on day 2? Like, it's uncomfortable because it's new to you, but the quicker you do it, the more you will learn. Anything dealing with troubleshooting, he should be telling you the height of the trailer when you back up under it. Make sure it ain't too high so you can overshoot the kingpin, and now you got your 5th wheel behind the kingpin of the trailer. Now you don't know how to get out of there and stuff. Like little simple stuff. You know, a good trainer should have notes wrote down to where everything he knows, he passes on to the student. So just keep all that in mind when you're getting on a truck with a trainer. If it's something that's not right, don't be afraid to call back and let your dispatcher or your driver manager know that you're not comfortable with this guy. I'd rather you finish training safely than to be in a hazardous truck and don't know if you're going to make it back to the terminal to even graduate because this guy or girl is driving like a bat out of hell. So you got a lot to think about when it comes to actually getting your company training in when you're new to the company, okay? That's about all I can think of for right now. If I come up with something else, I'll probably make another video. But yeah, so some of the things to look for when you go out on your first day of training. If you are going out or new trucking, feel free to write me in the comments. And when I get time, I would reply. I don't like to see no new truck drivers struggle. You know, it's not get in the truck and go. It's a lot of stuff that comes with this lifestyle. And all companies are pretty much going to be the same. Orientation is pretty much always going to be the same. All companies going to promise this, and majority of them don't keep the promise. You got to realize this hiring process Advertisement is what gets you in the door. That's why trucking has a high turnover rate. You got 60, 70 people in your orientation class. You probably had 50 people quit the week before you got there. That's why it's always a high turnover rate, because people retire, people quit, go to other jobs, people on medical leave. So trucks are always going to be open to be driven. They don't want empty trucks sitting on their lots, okay? So welcome to trucking, and feel free to ask me anything, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Be easy.